Well, good evening YouTube. This, believe it or not, is my third attempt at filming this evening. First reason it didn't work is I did a great video. Sorry for the noise. Sorry for the interruption for the emails. Basically, the first attempt went great. Was really happy with the recording, and I'd used my external mic. Ta-da! That goes into the side of the phone. Everything went perfect. Lovely recording. Good video, good audios. Opened up my heart. What happened is I deleted the damn thing. Now, so I tried again. That I rabbited it on for 20 minutes there. Did the same again, but half an hour ago. Used my external mic. Checked it out after I'd finished. It was okay, but not as good as the first attempt. They never are. The mic never worked. It was just me going, that sort of thing. So I've had now to take the external mic off because it's not working, and I don't know why. It lights up green. I've charged it. It's got a green light on it, as you can see, which means it should be working, and then I go and drop it. So basically, the same old topics really is what it was all about. Yes, don't like to go on about it too much, it doesn't help, but the depression side of things, yes. Borderline, I suppose you could call it, borderline depressive. Was diagnosed with it in the past. I do suffer from depression, runs in the family. Well, doesn't really run in the family, but there was a member of family who suffered with it quite severely, I would say. And I have spoken to people and been in contact with people online that have also suffer with depression. To a certain degree, you can keep it under control. Mine is borderline, and I must stress that I'm not in any danger. I'm not never likely to do anything stupid unless it should get worse, and I just can't, you know. I'm okay. There are lots of things that can make you go worse. Is that correct English? Make you go worse? Whatever. But such things as, in my case, the stress of having to travel each year to and from the Philippines, the stress of not seeing my wife for 5 months of the year, or the other way around, the stress of not seeing my family here, i.e. my mum and my boys in Germany, for 5 months, 6 months at a time, whatever. It's not easy. That doesn't help. It really doesn't. I'm okay so far as my boys go. They're both career-minded lads. They're both very clever. They're both doing well in their chosen careers. So I'm happy with that. That gives me a sense of relief, really, that I know that I haven't got to worry about them in that sense. My mum is not getting any younger, so that plays more on my mind. I must admit to that. And of course, when I'm here, I miss my wife Sally terribly. So all these things mounted up, they don't help, do they? So let's change the topic slightly to pick things up. My car, as you know, next week, Tuesday and Wednesday, I won't have that car. Take it in Tuesday, pick it up Wednesday. Service and cam belt. The cost of this, I don't know. I'm going to have to look on YouTube later to see what a cam belt replacement and how long it takes and how complicated it is on that car, because I had a quote of £350. Now I'm thinking, is this just parts, or is this just labour, or is this both together? I don't know, so I've got to look into that a bit. And the rest is the service. Now I woke up this morning thinking, the service, bloody hell Steve, I can change the oil and oil filter myself. That's the big part, and the spark plugs, I can do it myself. But there's other parts, you know, pollen filter and so on and so. I want it done properly. I think I was quoted about $300 to $350 for that, which does sound you know, but a lot of money. But I know it's the labour on that more than anything else, because it does take a while to do everything, and the parts, oil's not cheap, and filters and so on. I suppose if I did it myself, you're talking about 50 quid the service. I could change the oil, I could change the oil filter and air filter. There's a pollen filter, don't even know where that is. Don't really know. So I'm happy to get that done. The cam belt, maybe I should have left that another month or two, but I will need the car for longer distances, so I thought get it done out the way. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of money. I get paid again this coming weekend. A big chunk of that will go for that. That's the problem. So I'm here to save money, and of course, as you know, I didn't earn any money for the first month and a half or whatever it was, and then once I did get paid, there was bills to be paid and so on and so forth, and I've saved a bit, not a lot, but I've saved a bit, so I'm starting. I'm not quits yet as what I've come back with. I'm not there yet, but I soon will be. Of course, it won't be this coming month now because I've got the car to sort out. Then I've basically got another 4 paydays before I leave. So I will be paid for July, August, September and October. So I've just got to save as much as that as I can and keep my spending to the bare minimum. Otherwise I'm going to be struggling again when I come back next year, and I just cannot be doing all that. Although I know, like I said before, when I come back into the country I'll be basically jumping straight into work. Things just never seem to work out as that. When I first realised how much I was going to be earning per hour and what I could earn and so on and so forth, and all of a sudden I've started paying tax, which I shouldn't. I know they take an average sometimes, but it's not a huge amount of tax. But the savings, the pension, is a big one. Can't quite work that out. Don't know what the normal is for the pension schemes and so on. Wasn't even asked about that, so I'm not even sure what pension that is. Is that a private pension or is that part of the state pension? It says I've got to look into that. I'm not quite sure, but that's quite a big chunk. Don't mind as long as I get it back and I get a decent pension, fine. But I've only got another 5 years, so it can't be an awful lot, can it, if it's a private one? So is it worth my while? Don't know. Would I be better off just saving that money each month? But then would I save that money or would I spend it on something else? Who knows? So there's that and that. As far as everything else goes, everything's going fine really. I've had 3 days off. Saw a mate of mine yesterday and a mate of mine last weekend, and that was another thing that I was talking about. That how many friends do you need in the world? It's a strange one because I've got 2 friends. No friends from school, from back in the day. So I finished school back in 1979 and I've not kept in touch with anybody through no fault of my own and no fault of theirs, because I've been around and Germany for 16 years and so on, and the first 10 years in this country and then moved away, and I've been abroad most of the time ever since, with the Philippines and Germany. So that's probably the reason for that. But you don't really need a lot of friends, is what a lot of people tell you, and it's basically true. I've got 2 friends in the UK or England, and I've got 2 friends in Germany. I mean, good friends, seriously good friends. I haven't got any friends apart from my wife, who is probably my best friend. Obviously she is. So yes, I've got my wife, but as far as buddies in the Philippines, obviously I don't know many people over there because I don't speak the language and everything. I have had contact with other people from there, so other Brits that are over there. One I used to have a bit more contact with. That sort of I stopped that basically. We weren't mates. It was just a clash of characters, big time. So I have been in contact with another one that lives in a different part of the Philippines, so I might be getting in touch with him. That might be somewhere to visit on a motorbike in the future. But basically I have no friends in the Philippines. Poor old Steve, no friends. Really no mates. But I sure, depending on how long I live for once I retire, I'm sure that will change. Obviously I get on well with my wife Sally's family and everything. I don't have any problems with anybody, but we can't have conversations. We wave and smile, and that's as far as it goes really. Through no fault of theirs and through no fault of my own. I can't get the knack of the language. I've tried, really I've tried. I can't, but the thing over there is I suppose if they spoke just one language in the Philippines, it'd be a help, wouldn't it? But oh no. As I told you before, the main language is, as a lot of people know, Filipino is Tagalog. And then each part has got its own separate, not dialogue, actual language, different totally. So totally different. So where I am, it's called Ilocano, or Ilocano, however you want to pronounce it. So when they come to the shop, and I've told you this probably before, I'm trying to learn the language. I'm trying to, and I'm never quite sure which of the languages I am learning or speaking. And I do pick up on things. Obviously, do. I'm not that stupid. So, you know, the products in the shop, a lot of them I know. Well, after a few days, it comes back to me. I couldn't tell you now. For the life of me, I just know probably a handful of things now. But when I get back after a few days, it all comes back to me. But as far as having conversations and so on, or doctor's appointments or whatever, no chance, no chance whatsoever. So whether I'll actually ever manage to accomplish that, I don't know. Again, once I retire in 5 years' time, it does depend on how long you live for after, doesn't it? So, anyway, I'm on the bitter tonight. I've swapped. I've done that recently. Trying to. That's another thing. That's not healthy, obviously not. But I smoke too much and I drink too much. But as far as the weight loss goes, and I did tell you if I had any success, I would update you. If I didn't, I would keep quiet. So I should be keeping quiet. I've gone. I do a lot of different training at work for different things, and a lot of it is well-being, health, and so on, diets, and what's good for people, what's not. I basically learn a lot of things, and I've been through that. I've been trying to take care of myself. Now I was doing all right. I was losing a bit of weight. Then all of a sudden I started. You know what? After all I've learned, I now go into the shops and I learn about carbs. What's got a lot of carbs in it and what hasn't, and so on. And I've been trying to live to that rule, to that standard, if you like. I've put on about 3 kilos. And I am more than baffled. You could say it's the beer, Steve. Yeah, but I was drinking it before. You see what I mean? I was drinking the beer before too much. I've always drunk too much beer. I've lost a shed load of weight before now, and I was still drinking beer. So yeah, it's not good for you. And yes, I could lose weight if I stopped it. But my point being is I've had a healthy diet now for several weeks. A lot of mushrooms. And onions and leeks, some of my favourite veg, and basically cut down on the carbs. And when I go shopping, I check on it. For example, if you look at this bottle of squash on here, it tells you everything. And without my glasses, I'll try and read it. It says carbohydrate per glass, 250 ml, which is about right, 1.4 gram. So it's not a huge amount. The energy in it, the fat and saturation and so on, it gives you, as everybody knows, if you go and you have a look, it tells you on everything. So basically I go around looking at those lists on the products I buy. So I try, and you know, people do say there was the or it still is the so-called Atkins diet, which is basically what that is. That's red meat, isn't it? So it's steaks, basically, and they'll live off that. But who can afford to live on steaks? I certainly can't. I can't afford to buy a steak a day. And then, but then you're going to be hungry. So basically, you're starving yourself because you're just eating that much steak each day. Well, that's not a lot, is it? You still need to eat. So you can't have 3 steaks a day. Who can afford? Bloody hell! You're a millionaire. So I can't. So it's knowing how to do this. So I've been basically looking, like I say, on the list of things, what's carbs and what's not. But it basically means I've resorted to a lot of the veg. Even the stuff I fry it in is one of these spray oils, which is basically 1 cal. But it says per spray. Then I've worked it out on a minute. You need to get a decent amount in there. You got to spray about 30 times. That's 30 calories straight away, isn't it? So you're probably better off putting the other stuff in there. I don't know. I really don't know. But basically, I've been eating very sensibly, is what it boils down to, and I've put on 3 kilos. Then you get you know, because I talk to the people at work about it. Oh yeah, yeah, but don't worry, Steve. Muscle weight's more than fat. Well, yeah, I know that, but I haven't been working out. I haven't gained any muscle. It's not as if I've been in the gym every day, is it? Doing whatever, bench presses and God knows what. I haven't. So I'm baffled. I get up in the morning. I don't have anything. When I get up in the morning, I get up in the morning at roughly 5 o'clock, 5:10, sometimes 5. Say 5 o'clock. Hang around here a bit, smoke a pipe, go up, have my shower, go to work. I will have 2 slices of bread, toast, and all I have on there is a slim bit of dairy spread. It's not even called margarine nowadays, but basically margarine, a little tiny bit on there, not a huge amount. That is it till lunchtime. Now I'll have a bit of whatever they're having normally. In the daytime, it's normally sandwiches, because in the week they tend to cook more in the evenings, because the residents go off doing different things and that, so they come back in the evenings, and that's when the cooking's done for that. Unless it's the weekend, so Saturday and Sunday it's a proper lunch, and Sunday's a proper Sunday roast. So on Sunday, for example, I will have a proper Sunday roast, but I can't put on 3 or 4 kilos just by having once a week or twice a week a proper cooked meal. You know, I was doing. I was eating so much before, and I actually lost some weight. I don't understand it. A lot of people say, "Oh, but I'm so careful what I've eaten, and I don't understand. I can't lose any weight." And I normally think, "Hang on, no, you haven't, have you? You've done that." Like I say, mine is the beer. I know that, but I've always done the bloody beer. I've always had the beer, and I've lost weight in the past. Back in 2018 to 2019. I lost so much weight. I basically went from 21 stone down to 16 stone, or just over 16 stone is what it was. And I was working out a lot, to be honest. Then I was not in a gym or anything, but working out myself. I got my little dumbbells, which I've got now, which I can never be asked to use, and other bits and bobs. And I was losing weight. But we all have our excuses. Mine was when COVID hit, and I caught COVID in 2020, the first lockdown. I caught it quite bad, seriously, but I caught it quite bad. And everybody says, "Oh yeah, you just lose your appetite, and you don't want, yeah, you just want to drink." No, I couldn't drink anything. Tea, coffee, water. It had to be fizzy, and I hadn't got any. I was on my own, and it was that and eat. That's all I wanted, and I ate and I ate and I ate. I had 4. It was Easter time. I remember that, or just after Easter time, and there was 4 Easter eggs, because I was on my own. So they weren't being delivered anymore. They were coming away, so I scoffed them in a day. That sort of thing, and I soon ran out of food, and I'd stocked up before because of the risk and blah blah blah. I had such an appetite, and I piled on God knows what. And after that, I sort of stopped doing the workouts, and it has the so-called yo-yo effect, isn't it? So I went from 16 stone 3 or whatever it was, I can't remember exactly what it was, up to 20 stone, like that, bang, gone. And I've struggled again ever since. So at the moment, I think I'm about 21, is what it works out at. I really want to get down to 17 before I go back to the Philippines, so basically 4 stone. It's not going to happen. Not in 4 months like I left. That's a stone a month. It's not going to happen. So sometimes desperation. So yeah, I'm just looking across there now, and that's getting dark across there. I think there's a storm brewing. I'm a bit worried about tomorrow. Getting the car from here. It's bone dry now, but it rained all night, and up till 10 o'clock it carried on this morning. But I did manage to get from here. But I hope it's not going to pour down now. That's looking very dark. Anyway, I'm going to leave you to it. Everybody take care. Bye for now.